Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Rhonda Fair from Feed from His Basket at TTKMS. How is your day going? I hope that we can find a great recipe finder for all of us. Morning, afternoon, and evening. Yes. Or maybe when you wake up, you can get a new recipe. And I hope I can help you with that recipe. So I'd like to feed you with a little bit. And it only takes a little bit of time, a little bit of mixing that can combine everything together to make a balance. And we all need it. So we have to study ourselves approved. Yeah. Even online, ladies and gentlemen, what's the best thing to do? Well, you can first of all maybe throw a VPN on your phone. There is free ones. Because you don't want people, even though I say, I am Rhonda Fair from London, Ontario, Canada. I might not be from London, Ontario, Canada. My VPN could tell me I'm somewhere else, or maybe I am from another part of the world. Never drop a comment where you live. Never drop a comment to anyone where you live. You know, if you're going to make a comment, make it general. If there's an SOS or need help, put it out there. But don't personalize too much. You want to generalize it. Okay? Because everyone knows what an SOS is. Again, I can say, I'm Rhonda Fair from London, Ontario, Canada. Or I could be Rhonda Fair from Spain or Sweden or wherever it may be. Because you don't want to let anyone know your destination. Now, even in your travels, I just watched the Nadia Sahari show. Something is from 10 years ago. And, you know, I went through it all because I was requested to go through the video a long time ago and asked me what I recognize in the video. Then you will notice patterns. You'll notice face gestures. You'll notice body language. And if somebody is interviewing you, if they're making it about them or about the interviewer or who is being interviewed and what it's all about. Okay? So, again, a great recipe is even if you want to make a recipe to catch an enemy, you want to bring the enemy in. And sometimes you don't want people to really know who you are unless that person's become personal in your life and only between yous, but not everybody. Because some people, you might have to make them believe you're crazy. Some people, you might have to make you believe you want them. Whatever it is, you want to make sure if you're being stalked, you want to bring the enemy in. So you want to draw the enemy in. And so you don't want them to know what's going on up here. You don't want them to know. Only person that should know that is your partner and your family members, as long as they're not being dragged into a cult. If they're being dragged into a cult or pushed away, that's where you need to generalize everything and to catch the enemy. There's a lot of doppelgangers out there, and there's a lot of jealous people out there, and they will make up any kind of recipe they want. Because that's all they do is spend their time doing, making their own recipes. A lot of them will even get drinking or get really high or on any kind of pills because that puts them somewhere else in a different state of mind, and then they just make up their own mixture. So you want to be very careful of that. Just because, you know, here in Canada, they legalized marijuana. So, but that's just, you know, you think about it, anything that we inhale kills us. Now, I was a smoker years and years ago, and I was watching the Nadia Sahari show. I can't tell you personal things about Ron Sammy Pritchard. That is nobody's business. And, you know, so you have to generalize it. You see, if a person's going to give you personal information, that person would know that nobody else could hear it. Okay, so that would not be generalized. Now, So what if you know there's voyeurism or there's paparazzi, whatever, you want to mess their minds up. You want to mess their minds up. Because you want to give them a mixture of recipes. Because if your boyfriend or your husband's a celebrity, or someone who's in the government, or whoever it may be up on the ladder and has money, or people are idolizing them, what happens is there's a lot of crazy sick people out there, and they might think that you have it. They might think that you have the money. Here, I'll give you an instance. I will just generalize it a little. Ron Pritchard and I. So if we were online and we're partners online, and that's what it would be online. If a person wanted to be with you, he would be with you. So you would be communicating all the time. Okay. So a man cares for you and loves you. He will protect you. Okay. He will make sure that you are cared for. He will make sure your family is protected. He's not a god, but if he has the funds in that system, he will use it to protect you and be with you. Okay. He will make sure the family's protected. He will make sure you're protected, and allow you to feel at ease, at comfort, at peace. And then you two would come together as one. But you both have to be in agreement. You both have to equally yoke, which means you both have to be in that agreement on the same page as you open up the book. Now, that is a great recipe. But other people think, oh my gosh, we'll just come in and we'll steal and make her crazy, because they're jealous. They're jealous of you. And what happens when they're jealous of you, like, okay, I'm going to give you an instance. There was some women that were very jealous of me. I dated celebrities, 2 of them. And, but we didn't come together as one in the same home. And there was a lot of women out there jealous of me. So they thought in their delusional mind that I had my partner's money. They thought in their delusional mind if they come into my house, they could get all kinds of stuff and do voyeurism and cause problems and say I'm crazy, and they chop my hair off. Then they had sent a prince in to attack me. They were doppelganging these celebrities. For one thing, I just want to let you know, when you doppelgang a celebrity, that is alone a serious crime. Okay? When you doppelgang anyone, it's a serious crime. Unless you're doing just an acting business where they do a fill-in, that's different. But when people are jealous of you and are scared of you thriving, or jealous because you're with a partner, okay, you need to let go of that regret. But we don't have control over people's hearts. So I let them know that there was people doppelganging them. I let them know that they were doing harm to me. They were jealous of me. They didn't want me to be in their life. They wanted to isolate me, steal from me, cut my hair off, just completely destroy my life. And what they did was they showed everybody else a picture of bleaching their life out. Now, because of this, they had taken, items of mine. They had changed information. They had stole money. Actually, they had money hidden. So, if my partner, again, cared and loved me and wanted to be with me, he would use some of his funds to make sure that that never happens again. Okay. He would make sure there's authorities come in, that I am protected, and he would make sure he would take me home. Now, when people live on an assumption, and assume things, they start causing a lot of problems. So this is where I had, one celebrity, and he was very, very upset because I allowed 2 people to come into my home, and they stayed with me for 3 weeks. And he was very upset. So, I mean, that was the time when I heard from him all the time. He would call all the time to see if the person was trying to harm me, get close to me, go near me, touch me, anything. Until they left. So he says, did you learn? Of course I did. But after they left, I got beaten up. There are doppelganging other actors because they're very jealous people. Now, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, before I go on with this recipe finder, it's very important not to get too close to someone online like I did. I fell into this closeness with 2 people. One left, and then I had another one, and I felt very deeply close to him. And the thing is, it doesn't work online. It don't work online. Like I said, if the person, and I can't make it any more clear, ladies and gentlemen, if a person has the right recipe finder with you, they will make it complete with you. Even everybody has some kind of flaws. Some are bigger, some are smaller, everyone's built differently. But what's going on inside the heart? So these people made a choice. A cult came together and decided to harm me because they were jealous of me. They were jealous of me because of the way I looked. They looked on the external side. They were jealous of me because of my loving careness inside me, and because also I had a celebrity boyfriend. They were going to make sure that I couldn't have my interviews for work, make sure I couldn't be with them, and cause interruptions. Because those celebrities don't have time to check out on media to see if someone's scamming me or harming me all the time. So that's why it's important to be with the person, okay? So you want to make sure that if you're going to be with a partner, that you're both on the same page, in agreement, that you, and you know what, I am for liberating women up, as man and woman should be 100-100, but I'm not liberating women to overpower man, nor am I liberating man to overpower women, okay? So there is a balance of 100-100. They even came into here. Someone cloned a key, and my landlord's changing the locks because they came in and they stole my belongings. They get high and they just think they can do it. And again, they came into my workplace also and did this. This is where I would say, if you have a partner that doesn't have to have a lot of money, would make sure that you are protected. And that's where authorities will come in. Okay. You want to make sure authorities that protect your family, because they could have been dragged in and manipulated and tricked, and you want to make sure that you're protected. Okay. And this is what happens. So you want to let go of regret. But the thing is, you want to know that you grew some knowledge. Okay. And that's where forgiveness comes in. You move forward. But if they're continuing to do it on a continuum, and that's like somebody that has a mental disorder and it's on a continuum, like a predator, then that's where bigger authorities need to come in and find out what's going on and stop it. Now, also, in learning this, we also don't want people online to know who we really are. Okay? I'm not going to allow you to know who I really am. I am going to generalize it all the time. I am not saying I'm a liar, but I am saying my personal life. You come in and prowl in and steal all the time. my job is to make sure that I bring in the enemy. Am I telling you the truth? So, it's a recipe finder. So, wherever you go, God can use you. Now, in this, because I went through and people were thinking, oh my gosh, Rhonda's with Ron Sammy Pritchard. Let's get her. We're going to take everything. We're going to just make it so she can't have them. And we're going to destroy them. Oh my gosh, Rhonda's with Mr. Centaur. Well, that isn't his real name. Oh my gosh, we want to destroy it because we don't want her to thrive with him. Okay. So we want to get a new recipe. But we also want to be wise. So in this, we want to have good housekeeping. So we must catch the enemies. It's sad, but when you're placed in a position like that, God can use you to get them. Or he can also calm the storms. He can, get other people to submit in their own thinking it's them that's doing it, where they're doing it for him. Now, how God does things, I don't know. So what do we truly need and love? Our body always cries out for love and compassion. So I know that the person that's come in here and stole, and at my other places, I knew that they're crying for help. They want to be caught. But they will be sneaky. But they're looking for attention. Okay? They're always looking for something to cause problems because they're jealous of you. Okay? So we want a new home. So I would say, well, if my celebrity men, if they wanted to be with me and they were protecting me, they would make sure my house is safe. They would make sure I'm with them. Okay? So they know who I am. They know my walk. They know my direction. Nobody else does. Not even my own family. Okay? Only he does. Okay? So our body cries for love and compassion. So we need a new home. We need a new home. We need to nourish it. We need to make sure it's healthy. We need to have it healed, and we need balance. Now, in this, we need some housekeeping. So they're choking good, aren't they? My man, or do I have a man? Is he a celebrity or isn't he? He is going to be behind the sidelines watching the enemy. So that makes sure that they are caught. But he's not going to tell you who he is, where he is, what he's doing. Nor would I tell anybody if I knew anything of anyone, because it's nobody's business. Right? So you want to play mind games with people. You want to play those games because you have to. Not that you want to, you have to. Okay? It's part of life. We do it every day. So my man, who is a celebrity, will make sure he's watching in my workplace for everything they do harm. Am I telling you the truth? So what happens is they will make sure you get put away forever. Or am I telling the truth? That's something for you to figure out. Now, it's up to me, or up to you to draw the enemy in. Okay. So who are we serving? And are we having active care? Okay, are we having active care? So these people in here, I know who they are, who did this. My celebrity man is watching them. So we all have a celebrity man, whether you know it. So we want to reverse the cycle, even for our onlookers. And we want to change things up. Okay? So you could have family members that are very jealous of you because you were with a celebrity. Oh my gosh. They don't want you to do that. Why? Because of pride. Now, my celebrity man knew everything they were doing because he was watching them. So let's go with the regret and want to get knowledge, because knowledge is power, but with a lot of compassion. So we want to have some good housekeeping. I don't know if you can see it starting to get less and less, but we'd always say if we had gray hair, that means our hair is growing. I found out we're in a little bit of trouble with that. Do you know when you bleach something, can you strip it? You strip something when you're making something. That's what's happening with our hair. Our nutrients is being stripped out. So that means our brain is being stripped. The nutrients in our body is being stripped. So what's happening is we need some good housekeeping. I learned this from a man from, I think he's somewhere, I don't know if it's Japan. But he was teaching on this because he was talking about the catalase and how it's an enzyme. Okay. But the stripping the nutrients is like the enemy because of that jealousy. See, our bodies gives us signs and signals what's going on in our life. And the catalase is an enzyme which seeks. Okay? So we need a cleanup crew. All right, we need a cleanup crew. So here in this, we need in our body is copper and B12. So what happens here is, you know how hydrogen peroxide, the body produces a free radical oxidant, and we have age spots, and we have cataracts, and we have gray hair and whatnot. So we need to slow that process down. Okay, because the reason why is because it's losing something that it needs. Same with, I use castor oil because I was full of mucus. So the castor oil I have to dump on my throat and on my chest to break it up. But this person was coming in and stealing my ginger, taking my vacuum cords and whatnot. Because the person's very unwell. And she knows who I know. Okay, they know I know. But so does my boyfriend. So is my boyfriend, who is a celebrity. And he's watching them. So we must bring the enemy in. And that's even at work, in our workplace, our home place, and wherever we are. Unfortunately, there are people that are jealous of you out there. Now, so here we want to make sure that we have a good serving of items in our body. You like liver? You like liver? Liver, I have once in a while. We say it's iron. My mom lacked this her entire life, or did she? If you're lacking liver, your iron you have a deficiency, but also it is deficient of copper and B12. So I like a good chunk of liver every now and then, and it tastes yummy when someone cooks it right. So it's packed with copper and catalase. And also when I get my sweet potatoes out, and when I get my stock of my broccoli, sprouts, and I get mushrooms out. But what I do is, you don't want to overcook. I remember one of my daughters and her wife says to me, make sure you don't overcook that. You're going to lose all its nutrients, because you want to make sure you only steam it, make sure it's stiff. Once in there, it just turns green. Hurry up, take it out, because that's where all your nutrients is. So you only want to lightly cook it or eat it raw. Now, along with this, we want to stop the gray hair, because our body is losing something terrible in us. So that's God showing us in our body needs something. So I would go, oh yeah, I know my hair is growing because it's gray. Yeah, it's growing. great because it's bleaching out from, and so my brain needs nutrients, my blood needs nutrients and whatnot. So because I was in here and I was taking ginger for inflammation and that, they came in and took my ginger. When I was using my nice power Dyson, they took the cord because the person's unwell. They're very jealous of you. But because they're jealous of you, makes my boyfriend very angry. Makes my boyfriend very angry that you even did this to her. Okay. So he's going to use his power and money with the authorities and make sure you don't ever do it again. And he's going to make sure he follows me to work, and he's going to make sure he follows me in my home and wherever I go until I am in the same place that he doesn't have to do that. Now, so another great thing, a B12, we must have B12, which I will grab more of. But I had my broccoli, I had my eggs, and I've had my sweet potatoes more, and then I will make a soup also. But along with this, cashews. Do you like cashews? Cashews are a great source of B12. So if you can get a B12 injections, or they also have sublingual, you need to have that in you. When you have that in you, it will start changing the process. So with this, we also want to have a healthy fish, and I eat eggs. So we want to have, again, beef, liver, once in a while, turn up to a beef because that has your B12 in it. Oysters, clams, mussels. So we need a strong stomach acid in us because we want to make smarter choices. So we need to change our balance. I remember my boyfriend, he had this lump on him, which I'm not going to tell you any more than that, and it was nothing. But how'd that lump get there? So you can have like sebaceous things. So what I use is I rub lots of castor oil on. And sometimes if it's been there for years, it's going to take months for it to draw out. Now, we also want to use fresh juice. And another great one is sweetgrass. So we want to take bleaching on the inside out. We want to change things in our life, and that's the same with relationships, right? So a man is a man, a woman is a woman, and the only way he can truly get to know her is be with her, okay? He's got to communicate with her. So no man knows your calling because everybody has the same calling in different areas, but we all have the same calling because you want to win people, not, and these jealous people, unfortunately, need to know that they are loved. But your body is not your enemy. You're the body's enemy. But when it ages, your body gives a sign. So my hands will get pain and sore and cold. And then when hot, cold water, it will take it away. It's a part of the process of aging, but that means my body's saying, look, you're missing something. So yesterday I changed up and I went and had a ravioli with, it was leek and squash. And what happened is when I did that, my body recognized something different that was good for me. And at the same time, when I'm drinking water, and I have, so then I take this, and I take this, and I absorb the Celtic salt on my tongue. And then I will drink my water. You need that. You need that. So when you wake up in the morning, you are very dehydrated. So you can drink lots of water, but it's not all getting into your cells. So when it's not getting into your cells, you start to get bloat. So the Celtic salt, when used like a sublingual on your tongue, the water will absorb into your cells more and you'll do less peeing, okay? because now it's going into my cells. And the peeing that more I pee, the more I'm starting to be concerned. Okay. So we want to make sure that the cells are getting nutrients. So in this, your body is not your enemy. So you want to feeling strong and resilient. Your body is your hero. You know, so we want to make smarter choices. So we want to get a good recipe. So I want to, there's some days I don't have to pee all day. And then some days I can eat something or drink something that triggered it, that didn't get into my body. So what happens is I'm going somewhere and I didn't have my Celtic salt. I didn't have whatever. And there's a lot of soup and a lot of fluids going in me. But reason why I'm peeing a lot from it is because it didn't get into my cells and that. So when it drained, it drains out and wants to get rid of. But you're also overworking your kidneys. So, excuse me, excuse me, I burped. So that's a natural thing, by the way. If it doesn't come out one end, it's going to come out the other, and it makes noises. But also, we want to have that body recipe. So our body's walking in love, and we want to have the removal of inflammation, removal of stiffness. And we need to protect it because our body is supposed to protect us, and we have to be good and kind to it. And that's the same with a relationship. We all get scared of things. So let's say if I had a boyfriend and he lived out in the USA, how can he be a boyfriend? How can he friend me if he is too far away? But if he's here and he knows someone's harming his woman, he is going to make sure the enemy is going to pay the consequences. No, I'm not talking about vengeance, because my person does not like vengeance, because my person knows that vengeance is a trap and taught me this. So my person's going to tell me that vengeance is evil and that God is vengeance, but we need to stop the wickedness. So now, and if your partner loves you and cares for you, he will make sure that your family is going to be protected. Now, like I said, your partner is going to know more about you than your own children and your parents and everyone else. Okay? They're going to spend the most time with you. Now, so we want protection. We want goodness, kindness, and the good stress we have. We need a good stress. But we also know that inflammation, weight gain, a poor digestion system as we get older, and we need to give it the right support. So my partner says, I don't know, I've never gained so much weight. I've never seen this happen because, honey, you told me it happened to you, and I don't know how to stop this process. Something going on, and I'm feeling like really uncomfortable. I'm not sleeping well, and I'm getting bloated, and I don't know, I'm craving more food through the night and stuff like that. And I said, oh, honey, yes. Let's figure out, we need to reduce this and make everything affordable for us. We want to support you. I want to support you. And so what I want to do is I want to help reduce the pain in my partner. Because, honey, you've experienced it. Can you tell me? And that's called love, right? That's a body language. So ginger and turmeric are a gut healer, a big gut healer. So every time my partner found out that you were going in and stealing my products because you're too damn lazy to go to work and buy your own, instead you want to do drugs, my partner knows this. And now my partner will make sure you never do it again. So ginger and turmeric is gut health. Okay? So my partner knows that you're doing voyeurism. My partner knows that you were watching me and you shamed yourself, and my body doesn't belong to you. But my body belongs to me and to my partner, because God gave us equally yoked as one. How dare you invade their space? So, big mistake. So he's going, okay, this person that came in has trying to destroy everything for over 3 years. Now we need to change things up. Because now my partner tells me that you're doing all this, and my partner isn't going to lie about it. I've seen the evidence, and you've been stealing from my partner, you've been harming my partner, and you've been depriving my partner of everything. And her work, her money, her home, and that. Now what I'm going to have to do is make it right without vengeance. So that's called love. So we want to remove the last tension, the bloating. We need to calm it down. We need to get rid of the stiffness. We need to get energy rising up. We want to lose weight. We want more sleeping, and we want to think clearer. So when we have a hot drink, it is very relaxing and helpful. And it's, it's all about a time of healing and balance. You're not here for a long time, so you might as well darn well enjoy it. But unfortunately, people's hearts aren't changed. And when they're not, they act on wickedness. And they're very, very jealous of you. I'm telling you, I went right into my church, and there was a group of people. Because I was acting, and my other workplace was very jealous because I was doing it. Yeah, they were jealous in the church and with my workplace, and the workplace, that they were doing everything to cause problems. Oh my gosh, she studies. Oh my gosh, she's got a smart, healthy man. Oh my gosh, she's getting more knowledge because he taught her to study herself approved. The Bible says so. And oh my gosh, she's getting more knowledge, and we are so jealous of her. Let's show her up. I want you to idolize that person. The person says, idolize me, forget her. And we're jealous of her, and we're going to cause problems because you know what? She studied and she knows more than I do. So you know what? My pride's got in the way, and we want to stomp on her. It's sad. But this is what happened. They scare people away. So now my partner says enough. My partner isn't going to lie to me. My partner's going to be honest with me. My partner knows. My partner wants to help me. You're going to help your partner. That's called love. So what you want to do is, you want to make yourself something healthy for the inflammation. So you take 1 cup of water, and it doesn't have to be real hot. Warm, and half a teaspoon of turmeric, a half a teaspoon of ginger. A pinch of black pepper will enhance the turmeric. Just a pinch. Add some lemon. Squeeze a lemon. No, it's not suggested that you add honey, and you have to have the real honey. You don't want to add too much sweet in it. But best on this with no sweeteners, but if you need that, put it in. This here is a drink that will help my partner, my man. Hey, this is going to help you, honey. Because, he needs some quietness too. And he's got this cough, and I'm really bothered by it. And he's got to go out and entertain. Or he's got to go out and work on feed from his basket and stuff. And so he needs to break it up. And so does she, because she's got some kind of junk going on. So then what they do is they grab some castor oil, and they're rubbing it all over their neck, and they're rubbing it all over their chest. And what that does is the castor oil absorbs inside you and breaks up the inflammation, and the phlegm starts crackling, and it starts breaking up and gets it out. So now that we got a hot drink for my partner, and I've put some castor oil on him and rubbed him down, I wanted to make him feel, and then he's starting to feel more at comfort. I did some hot and cold shower on or in the water with him, and now he is going to relax, and I want to help him balance, and he's going to get healed. So I want also, because his digestion as he gets older is becoming weaker, and you start getting heartburn, all that stuff, what you want to do is have ginger and turmeric. It is a gut healer, and with your turmeric, add a little bit of black pepper. So that's going to help your gut heal. A healthy gut is a healthy heart. Okay. So then I thought, okay, well, then my partner says to me, you know what? The doctor says my blood's a little bit thick because of the food I'm eating. So we have to change up the food he's eating. And I says, oh, honey, I don't want you to take that blood thinner. I have an idea that I learned and I studied. Well, can you try this before you go into that? Because he was having a bit of pain, and that says, here's some cayenne pepper in capsules, and he didn't mind taking just the cayenne pepper on his tongue because he likes hot stuff. Me, I like it in the capsules, or put a little bit in my food, but you know, he don't mind. So actually that can stop you from cardiac arrest. So now I've given him cayenne pepper as much as it is, and if he gets too much burning, then I know I've given him too much. Or I've done it. What it does is it makes you sweat if you have a lot of it. And I've gone to where I've fallen to the floor, sweat, and made me go to the bathroom. It's because I just consumed a little bit too much, but it doesn't last long. It will go away. So your body will let you know. So then I give him, I say, honey, I want you to have some cayenne pepper. I want you to feel good, because the life in the blood, he taught me, is all up from the Bible, that it's, you know, very important. It's okay. He says, okay. Give him some cayenne pepper. It ain't going to hurt him. Cayenne pepper. But darling, I want to tell you something, honey. I know you've been protecting me. You're always doing this for me, and I want to do something for you. So when you're doing this, I want you to know that this cayenne pepper, honey, is not going to give you brain bleeds like the thinners. And also, darling, what I want you to know is that it's going to clot blood where it's not supposed to be, and it's going to thin blood out where it's supposed to be. Oh, well, honey, you really love me. Yes, I do, because God loves our bodies so much. He created us, and he tells us we have to love it too. Oh, now that's love, darling. Oh, you always help me out with this way. You know, I'm working on this area of my life, and you're doing this, and come together as one, and we're really helping each other out. So now his skin starts to become more clear, because as we're aging, you know, and we have a better skin tone, and it's clear and it's not so tired. So then a long time ago, he says, well, honey, you know what? He says, Rhonda, you know, darling, he says, I made this wonderful drink I want you to make, and throw some lemons and oranges and grapefruit and cut it all up. Don't peel it. Throw it in a big pot. Cook it for about 5 hours, or until it goes mushy, and drink the fluid. So I did. And it started cleansing my insides, but all this stuff was vitamin C, all the nutrients, and it was starting to make me feel better. Wow, he just helped me. So if we wake up dehydrated, so we want to remove the pain. We deserve this. We all deserve this. The person that was coming in here, so, you know, my partner will make sure my doors are contained. It's sad, but people are jealous of you. So it's very clear they're very jealous of you. So they followed me into work. So now my partner says, okay, this is enough. Now that we know who's doing it at the workplace, we are going to make sure they never do it again. Let them fall into the trap. Okay. All right, darling, I'll just do what I'm doing. You know you're watching and on camera, and you know they're gaslighting. Well, of course, darling. So, you know, they're going to take care of it. So we need to draw the enemy in. So we need to strengthen our immune system. So now I know God has given me the person to protect me, and he's given me the means to study myself approved, to draw the enemy out of my body, because we want to starve the enemy in our body and feed it nutrients. But at the same time, we want to draw the enemy in, and we want to confuse the hell out of them. So my partner teaches me this. We work together like soup and salad. And then all our appetizers and our meat and our sweet potato. Oh, honey, I love you so much. You're like one big dessert. So now we know that warm drinks are relaxing, and we wake up and we're dehydrated, and also not forget our Celtic salt, and then drink our water, and now we're starting to get our nutrients in, and him and I are just, because we're the apple of God, because we followed him, and he says if we keep our eyes up, we would mind upon him, that he would give us perfect peace. Oh, thank you, Lord, in Isaiah 26:3. So he teach me from the word of God. He's keep me on the same path. So that's equally yoked. I love you, darling. Thank you so much for taking care of me today and following me to work. And, you're not stalking me, but you're taking care of me, because how do we know that you're not a stalker? You're just following me. We want to mess with their minds. So you want to make sure that people don't know your destination. Now that I know that they come in here and they lied to the owner, and they've lied to people at work, and they've lied to other people and to family, and they've made a cult, now the enemy is detained. Now we've got the enemies detained. Now, what are we going to do with the enemies? Well, I am the one that drew them in, and now my partner is the one that takes them out and protects the family. And that's how it works, is equally yoked as one. We're like magnets together. So I am Rhonda Fair from Feed from Miss Basket at TKMS, and to know that dancing into you matter, unfolding the truth of freedom. When you came into my school, my honey was there too. And we work well together. Shouldn't be jealous. Remove the pride and give the love. And God bless.